Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of MJ Everyday, a very interesting episode of MJ Everyday dealing with a topic that I have addressed many times in the past on different social media platforms, and I've actually even done a video on our YouTube channel and an episode of MJ Q&A on it, but I continuously get asked questions about this very topic, so I thought, well, I got to drop an episode of MJ Everyday for you guys as well. This episode, guys, is about how to get sponsored. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to address both sides of the sponsorship equation here for you guys. I'm going to tell you what companies, and in particular MassiveJoes, what we look for in sponsored athletes and brand ambassadors. And then I'm going to go through a little bit what you should look for if you're trying to become a brand ambassador and trying to become a sponsored athlete in companies that you want to approach for ambassadorship or sponsorship. So firstly, the sorts of things that companies generally look for in brand ambassadors and sponsored athletes, and what we specifically look for at MassiveJoes. First and foremost, guys, you have to fit the brand. You have to understand the brand. You have to get what the brand is about. Your interests have to be aligned with our interests as a company. We just have to gel. We just have to fit. Nothing is worse than a company going and sponsoring an athlete that just doesn't reflect the values of that company and doesn't have the same motto as that company and doesn't have the same values as that company. It's cringeworthy. It's hard to watch. It's awkward. So first and foremost, what we look for and what most companies will look for are athletes that represent the brand and athletes that have a similar value structure to the brand to ensure that we fit, that we gel. Once that's been established, the next thing that we look for, the next thing that companies are generally going to look for is the size of your network. Now, that network can be a social media network. That network can be a person-to-person network. That network can be a client database. It doesn't really matter, but what's important is how big your network is. So how many people are within all of your networks combined. That might include social media and personal network and a client database, and whatever it is, whatever kind of background you're coming from, the size of your network is a crucial element and something that we really look for when looking at brand ambassadors and sponsored athletes. And then finally, and perhaps most importantly, is your ability to influence the people within that network. So it's all well and good to have 100,000 followers on Instagram, to have 1,000 people on your client database, to have a really good personal network. But if you're not able to influence that network, if those people aren't listening to what you say and aren't taking what you're saying on board, your value to a company and your ability to influence that network in the interests of the company is going to be diminished. So influence and ability to influence your network is very, very important to any company, and in particular to us at MassiveJoes, is that's really the crucial element. As we'll look at, okay, this person fits the brand, they've got a really good network, whatever that network may be. Are they able to influence that network? Are people within that network going to listen to what they have to say about the supplements they're taking, about the apparel that they're wearing, about the message that they're trying to get across? Influence really from a return on investment, from a return on brand ambassador investment, from a return on sponsored athlete sponsorship investment is the most important thing, is what most companies are going to look for. And that's really it. That's what companies look for, guys, in bringing on ambassadors, bringing on athletes. Flipping the switch, what you should look for in a company if you're trying to become an ambassador or you're trying to become a sponsored athlete, once again, first and foremost, pick companies that you believe in. Pick companies whose values reflect your values. Pick companies that there's just a natural fit, there's a natural gel. You know, I mentioned that nothing's worse than seeing a company bring on an athlete that just doesn't fit the company image. Likewise, nothing is worse than seeing an athlete sign with a company that you know that athlete doesn't believe in that company. You know that that athlete doesn't have the same value system as that company. You can see straight through it. And as an athlete, you need to consider that, because if you're looking at companies that you don't believe in, if you're looking at companies that your value system doesn't reflect their value system, you guys don't gel, you don't fit, your ability to influence your network in the interests of that company is going to be diminished, because people are going to see straight through it, guys. Your network is going to see straight through it, and your influence is going to be completely crushed. So first and foremost, make sure that the companies you're approaching for ambassadorship, for sponsorship, you actually believe in, and your values are similar, and you guys fit, and you just know that there's going to be a natural fit and a natural gel. The second thing, and this is really overlooked by most people who approach us at MassiveJoes to become a brand ambassador or to become a sponsored athlete, is know what you're looking for in terms of ambassadorship, in terms of sponsorship. What do you want out of the arrangement? Do you want social media exposure? Do you want an allowance of supplements per month? Do you want an allowance of apparel per month? Do you want to be paid a wage every month? What do you want? What are you trying to get out of this ambassadorship? What are your reasons for approaching this company for ambassadorship or for sponsorship? What are you looking for? I mean, I can't tell you guys a number of times that we've been interested in an athlete to come on as an ambassador or to come on as a sponsored athlete, and we get to the negotiation stage and we ask the athlete, okay, what do you want? And the athlete doesn't even know. They just say, I just want to be an ambassador, or I just want to be a sponsored athlete. You need to know what you're trying to get out of the relationship. You need to be very precise with it, and you need to know your value as well. If you think that you're worth a certain monthly wage, then go to companies and say, look, I think I'm worth this wage, and this is why. This is how I justify it. Because my network is this size, because my influence is this great, this is what I'm worth, and this is what, if you want me to represent your brand, this is what it's going to cost you in terms of allowances or wages or whatever it may be, social media exposure. This is what it's going to cost you to have me represent your brand. Really get that, guys. Really understand that. And those are really the main two things that you need to look for as an athlete looking for ambassadorship or looking for sponsorship from a company. Make sure you fit and know what it is that you're trying to get out of the ambassadorship or the sponsorship. Guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Every Day, how to get sponsored and what to look for in sponsorship. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your post notifications on, both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.